Good evening. Tonight we're going to start with Lesson 33, Module 3. I can explain the connection of the area model of division to the long division algorithm for 3- and 4-digit dividends. And in problem 1, we are just going to focus with 672 divided by 3. We'll focus on this one next. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the area model to divide this problem. So let's go up and start making our area model, and we're going up by 1, 2, 3. This side is 3. Move over. And I'm not very good with my pictures, I'm sorry. But, okay, so now we have to say to ourselves, 3 can go times what will give us this number right here. That's not a 6, that's a 600. So we know that 3 times 200 gives us 600. So we're going to put 600 in the box. And 3 times what gave us 600? Well, it was 200. And then we continue on. And if we take 600 away from 672, we are left with 72. So now we need to look at this number, this digit. So 3 times what brings us close to 70? Nothing times 3 will give us 70. But if we did 3 times 20, it would get us close enough to 70, which would be 60. So what I'm going to do is I am going, let's see, got to select, let me just erase because we were running out of room here. We're going to add on here, and this is going to be a 60. And what gave us 60? A 20. Now, if I take away 60 from 72, we are left with 12. And 3 times what gives us 12? Well, it's 4. So our answer to this problem is 200 plus 20 plus 4 gives us 224. But what about if we did it the long division way? So 672 is inside the little division house, and 3 is outside. 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. And we subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 10, and it's 7. 3 goes into 7 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. We're left with 1. Bring down your 1. Now we have 12 ones. 3 goes into 12 ones 4 times. And look at that. Due to our area model, we got 224, and with long division, we got 224. But what happens if we use number bonds? Well, we put 672, put that in a circle. We're going to split this up. We get 600. We get 60. And we get 12. And each one of these circles, we're going to divide by 3. And we get 200. We get 20. And we get 4. If we add this up, we get 224, just like we did with our area model and long division. All right, in our next problem, we're going to focus on this one, 1,344 divided by 6. And we're going to use the area model to help us solve for this. So let's start making it. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 here. And this is a big one. And let's get rid of this extra stuff here. Okay. So now we have to go into 13. We're going to look at this right here. Now, 6 times what gives us 1300? Well, nothing. Nothing times 6 will give us 1,300. But what can we multiply 6 to get close enough to that? It would be 6 times 200 would give us 1,200. So we're going to put 1,200 in the box. And we need to take away, since we took away 1,200 from 13, 1,344, and we are left with 144. But now we need to look at this 14. And we're going to say 6 times what brings us close to 140? Well, nothing gives us 140. Look, we can get close to it though. So 6 times what would get us closer? The closest we can get to that one would be 120. And then we would multiply by 20. So we need to add another section here, and this would be 120. And how we got these numbers? Well, 6 times what gives us 1200? 200. 6 times what gives us 120? 20. Now, since we took away 120 from 140, we are left with 20. We had 144, and since we took away 120 from it, we are left with 24. So let me review that again. We were left with 144, but we took 120 away from it, and we are left with 24. So now we need to add on a little box here that shows 24. 6 times what gives us 24, and it's a 4. So now we need to add up, and we get 224. Now let's show this with the long division. So 1,344 is in the division house, divided by 6. 6 cannot go into 1, so we're going to put an X. 6 can go into 13 twice. That's where we get that 200, because that really represents 200. So we get 12. We subtract, and we get 14. 6 goes into 14 twice. This is where we're going to get that 20, okay? Because 6 goes into 14 twice, and we're going to get 12, and we are left with 24. And look at that. That's what we were left with over here, 24. 24 ones, and goes in 4 times. So we get 224 over here now. But what about our number bond? 1,344. And we're going to split this up into 1,200. Split this one up, 120 and 24. So we split this number up. And what really helped us with the number bond is using the area model. The area model kind of gives you the way to the number bonds. And we're going to divide by 6. So we divide this by 6, this by 6, and this last one by 6. And we get 200. This one we're getting a 20. And this one we're getting a 4. And we also now, with the number bond, we get 224, just like we did with long division and the area model. In our next problem, Arabelle solved the following division problem by drawing an area model. So, one side was going up by 4, and we have 1,600, 228 inside the area model boxes. But question A is asking, what division problem did she solve? So if you look inside these boxes here, this is what we would have to put together to get back to see what was the original division problem. So if it's 1,600 plus 200 plus 28, you get 1,828, and it was divided by 4. So let's see how they did that. So they got 400, so 4 goes into 1, can't do. 4 can go into 18 4 times, and we get 16. We subtract, bring down the 2. 4 goes into 22 5 times, and we get a 20, left with 2. Bring down the 8, now we're 28 ones. 4 goes into 28 7 times. So here we go. 400 plus 50 plus 7 is 457. So we just described this using the long division. So the division problem she did solve was 1,828 divided by 4. Now it's asking, show a number bond to represent Arabelle's area model and represent the total length using the distributive property. All right, now we're going to be doing the number bond. So we're going to put our original division problem. That original number was 1,828. So that's going to go on the top. 1,828. I'm going to split this number bond here. So we got 1,600 in one. We've got 200 in another. And we've got 28 in another. And what we must do is, just like we've been doing before, each one of these is going to be divided by 4, because that's what we're using to divide by, 4. So each one is going to be divided by 4 to get our new number. And this one is going to be 400, and this one is going to be 50. This last one is going to be a 7. And look at that. These numbers are exactly the same as our area model on top to get 457 as the answer. All right, our last problem. Solve 816 divided by 4 using the area model. There is no remainder in this problem. So let's start making our area model. We're going to go up by 4 because we are dividing by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And move over. And that's my sad looking box. So now we actually have to say, okay, now let's look. We've got an 8 in the first one. So this is going to be this is not an 8, this is an 800. So now we have to ask ourselves, 4 times what gives us 800 or close to 800? So 4 times what gives us 800? Well, it's 200. So we're going to put 800 in the box and 200 on top, because 4 times 200 is 800. Then if we take away 800 from 816, we are left with 16. So 4 times what gives us 16? Well, that's a fact, 4. So we're going to put 16 here. And 4 times what gave us 16? It's 4. So the answer to this is 204. Pretty cool. All right, now let's do a number bond to show this. So we have 816 in our bond there. And we're breaking it up. There is 800. And since I took 800 away from 816, I am left with 16. And because we are dividing by 4, we have to divide each one of these by 4. And we are left with 200 and the 4, which gives us 204. All right, in life you have 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it your all. So I'm hoping the next couple of problems you're going to give it your all. In our first problem, solve 960 divided by 4 using the area model. There is no remainder in this problem. And then draw a number bond and use the long division algorithm to record your work from part A. So guys, you're going to have to do area model, a number bond, and long division. And I'd really like to see your work tomorrow. Please bring it in. And our last one is draw an area model to solve 1,368 divided by 2. Then draw a number bond to represent this problem. And then use long division. So we're using an area model, number bond, and long division to show 1,368 divided by 2. Please bring in your work tomorrow. Success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Excellent job tonight. I'm hoping to see all your work tomorrow. Please don't forget. Have a wonderful night.